Hi viewers. So today we'll be talking about some more modify commands like trim, extend, break, join, chamfer and fillet. And at the end we'll be discussing explode option as well. So before starting executing the modify commands, let us draw some objects. So let us draw some lines, like if you click on this icon, click anywhere in the x direction, give the value of 10. In the y direction, give the value of 10 again, x 5, y axis 5 again. Enter to get out of the command, enter again to get into the same previous command. Click, click again, click, click and click. Enter to get out of the command. Let us draw some rectangle as well. So let the dimensions be 10, tab, 10, enter. So let us draw an ellipse. Click on ellipse icon, click anywhere. This is the one end, and the other end let it be at a distance of 20, enter, and let the other axis distance should be 5 from the center. So press enter and an ellipse has been formed. Similarly, let us draw an arc. Click, click and click. Let us draw a polyline, and for that click on this polyline icon, click on this and click on the quadrant. Now if we can't see the quadrant, that means the AutoCAD settings should be set. So right click on AutoCAD, click on settings, and now we can see that the midpoint is not selected, the quadrant is not selected. So select them, click on perpendicular, tangent, nearest and parallel, and click on OK. And now we can see the quadrant option. Click outside, click on this endpoint of the arc as well, and get out of the command. Press enter. Now these are some of the objects that we have drawn. Now let us use the other modify commands. Like the first one is trim, and the opposite of that is extend. So for trim, let us click on this trim icon or trim command. Click. Now the command asks us to select cutting edges. So we can select cutting edges like this horizontal line again, horizontal line and horizontal line, horizontal line, because the whole rectangle has been selected. So that whole rectangle is now acts as a cutting edge. That this ellipse as well. So press enter. Now the command asks us to select the objects to trim. Now if we click on the upper portion of this line, that portion will be removed or trimmed, and the same goes for this line. Now the lower portion, if you click over there, that portion is gone, and the same goes for the last vertical line as well here. Now if you click inside, the inside line will be removed or trimmed, and if you click inside, this hypotenuse portion will be removed. So if you click, and we can see that that part of the line will be trimmed away. If we click on the arc over here, so this inner portion, the portion that is inside the rectangle, will be trimmed. So if you click over here, we can see that it happened exactly the way we wanted. So in order to get out of the command, you can press enter. So now there is another way to use trim command, and that can only be used in the AutoCAD 2D drawings, and that is modify, click on trim and then press enter. So we have selected all the items as cutting edges now. Now if we click on any portion we want, that part will be removed. In the previous command, if we select any object to be as a cutting edges, then that cutting edge cannot be removed or trimmed. Here tr enter or just go to trim command, click on the trim command and then press enter. That will select all the objects to be acting as cutting edges. Now if you click anywhere, that part will be removed. Now because this horizontal line is trimmed in the last click, so if you click on this line again, then this line can't be trimmed because now this cutting edge lies on the end of this line. So it will just pass through the end point, it will never trim this line. In order to trim any object, any other line or arc should be passing through that object. Right, so if you click over here, then only this portion will be cut. So let us click over here and we can see that. If you click on this portion of the arc up till this line, it will be removed. If you click on this side, on this portion, this part of the horizontal line will be removed. So let us click, and now we can see that that really happened. So if you click on this portion, this half of the ellipse is gone. Right, so this is tr enter or go to trim command, execute the command and then press enter. So you have selected all the edges, all the objects as cutting edges. Press escape. The shortcut key or short form for trim command is tr. If you press enter, then this trim command has been executed. Now we have to select cutting edges, and in 2D drawing we can just press enter again. And now if we click anywhere, that part will be trimmed. So let's suppose if we click over here, because these lines, they lies on the end points, it will never trim. So if you click over here, again the same thing happened. Click over here, now this part is removed because it was a polyline before, and now these two portions have been detached. This is all about trim command. Now in the trim there is another way, and that is shift select to extend. Although we are in the trim command, we can also produce the effect of the opposite command, which is extend, and that can only happen when we press and hold the shift button on the keyboard. So now if you press shift and hold it for the time, and if you click over here on this horizontal line, you will see that this line will be extended till the next edge or next line. So if we click, we can see that it has extended. If we press and hold the shift key on the keyboard and again click on this line, this will extend till the other edge or till the other line or object. So if you click, we can see that this line has extended. Now if you click again, this line will again extend. Right, so we can also use the extend option. Go to modify, click on extend, or we can even extend objects when we are using trim command. So again, if we press and hold the shift key and click on this line, for example, it will extend to the next line or object. The same goes for this one. If we click over here, we are already holding the shift button, and if we click, this line has been extended. If we click again, this will extend till the next object. If we click again, this will extend till the next object, and if we click again, it will not, because there is nothing in front of this line beyond this arc, so this will never extend. Now this is the last boundary, so this line has extended till this point. The same goes for this one. We are holding and pressing the shift key, and if we click again and click again, if we click again, it will not extend further. Right, if we click on this inclined line, we know that it has extended, If you click again, now let us click on this side, because at this side there is no cutting edge, it is not extending. But if you click on this portion, this will extend. It has extended, right? If you click on this portion again, this has extended again. If you click on this portion, this will extend. If you click on this arc, it was arc, remember? So if you click on this arc, we can see that it has extended. If you click again, it will extend till the next point. And if we click again, it has again extended to this line. If you click, it is not extended anymore, right? So that arc has been regenerated. So if we click on this ellipse side, we can see that that ellipse has been generated till it reaches a point or a line or any object. So this was all about the extend and trim command. We can use one inside the other, and we can also use them separately. So this was trim and extend command. This icon is for trim command, and this one is for extend command, right? So the procedure is the same, the concept is opposite to each other. Now the next command is break. In the modify menu, we can see that break has only one icon, but in the modify icons, now we can see that there is break at a point and break separately. So now let us consider this is a complete horizontal line. Press escape to deselect that line. Now if you click on this break at point icon, we click on any object, we have to click on the object first, and now it asks us to specify first break point. Now if you click anywhere, for example, let us click on this midpoint. If we click, we are out of the command. Now if we click on this line, we can see that they are separate lines now. Now these lines are broken into two based on the click where we perform the click, and now we can see the distances, they are the same. So we clicked at the right spot, and that was midpoint of that line. Now the next command is break. So if we utilize this icon, if we click over here, now we have to select the objects. Let us select this line, this horizontal line, and now if we click on, for example, on this midpoint, so before we clicked over here and now we are clicking over here at the midpoint, if we click, then the portion on the object which is in between the two clicks, it will be removed. And now we can see that that portion has been removed, right? So this is the portion between the first and the second click. So we can utilize this option as well. Now the next command is join command. So if we click on join, click on this line and click on this line as well. If you press enter, we will see that the broken part will be regenerated, and these two lines which are separate than each other, which are separately placed, now there is a gap between them, they will be joined together. If we press enter, we can see that this line has been regenerated, and now the two portions, they are joined together. Now we already know that this line and this line, they are separate lines now because of the break icon or break command. If you want to join them, we can just write J, enter, and if we click on this source object and select any object to join to this source, if we click over here and press enter, we can see that the upper horizontal lines, they are also joined together. EX is the shortcut key for extend, and TR is the shortcut key or short form for trim command. J is for join, and for break we can use BR enter, and now we are in the break command. If we click and then click again, we can see that that portion between the clicks is gone now, or you can say is trimmed. Control Z for undo. Now the next two important commands, they are fillet and chamfer. So first we will look into chamfer command and then fillet command. Before utilizing these two commands, let us draw some objects like rectangle, 10, tab, 10, enter, and now draw the same rectangle with the help of line. So click 10, 10, 10, and close them. C, enter. And let us copy these. They are selected. Click on copy. Select this as base point and paste them over here. Click over here and then click over here and then press escape. Now let us utilize the chamfer command. Click on modify, click on chamfer. Now by default the trim mode has been selected. We will discuss that in a bit. And chamfer distance 1 and distance 2, they are already set as 0. So we can utilize this option, which is distance, in order to give it the distance manually. So D, enter, and the first chamfer distance, let it be 3, enter, and then 3, enter. Now let us click on vertical line, then for second object click on the horizontal line. So now we can see that a chamfering operation has been performed. Press enter to execute the same command. Now this time click on the horizontal line first and then select the vertical line secondly, and we can see that chamfering operation has been performed. Press enter. Now we want these two corners to be chamfered within one command, and for that we can utilize this multiple option. We will write M, then press enter. Click on vertical, click on horizontal side, click on horizontal, click on vertical side, and now we can see we are still in the same command. If we click on this line again, horizontal, vertical line, vertical, horizontal line, horizontal, vertical line. So we can see that we can use the chamfer command multiple times. Press escape to get out of the command. Press enter to get into the same previous command. Now we can utilize this polyline option because this rectangle is actually a polyline, but this rectangle is not a polyline because they are made up of lines. We can even check it. Right, so separate lines are selected when a cursor is brought over them. Now if we utilize this polyline option, which is P, enter, and we just click one time on this rectangle, we can see all the corners. Press enter to execute the same previous command, and this time utilize the angle command. So for that, A, enter, and now we have to give the length of the first line, angle from the second line. So let us give it the value of 3, enter, and let the angle be 15 degree, enter. And now if we click on this vertical line, a 3 mm cut will be generated over here, and if you click on this horizontal line, a 15 degree chamfer can be performed. So if you click over here, you will see that this angle is 15 degree and this total distance cut over the first line is 3 mm. We can even check that by using dimensions. So click on dimensions, click on linear, and let us click on this endpoint now, and let us trace this point, and we got the intersection, perpendicular intersection. If we click and then move the cursor outside, we can see that this is 3 mm. Now if you want to check the angle, let us do that. So click on dimension, click on angular, select arc, circle, line, or specify vertex. So let us select this line, select a second line. So for that, let us select this line, this vertical line, and if we click outside, we can see that this total angle, which is internal angle, is 165, but the total angle before it was 180 degree, right? So the difference is 15 degree. So this is how we can measure the angle and the length as well. So from dimensioning, it was confirmed that the data that is given to the chamfer command was accurately executed here. Now let us use the same command again, which is chamfer, but not by going into the modify menu. We will just write CHA as the short form of chamfer. If we press enter, So we can see that the chamfer command has been executed. Now if you want to use the distance mode, not the angle mode, because the last command we executed the angle mode. So for next trimming, the angle option is already turned on. So in order to utilize the distance option, you will just write D and then press enter. And because we already gave the three values, let us give it some different values like 1.5 enter and 3 enter. So now the first distance will be half of the second distance. Now if you want to utilize the chamfer command multiple times, we have to write m enter and then click on the first, click on the second, click on the horizontal, click on the vertical, click on the horizontal, click on the vertical, click on horizontal, click on the vertical, right? Right. So now we can see that a symmetric body has been formed. But if we use chamfer command now on a polyline, let us see what happens. So let us execute p enter, because polyline was the option starting from capital P. And if you click on this rectangle, now this rectangle looks distorted. Why? Because it follows a specific order. So first horizontal line, then vertical line, then vertical line, horizontal line, then horizontal line, vertical line, then vertical line, horizontal line. So it follows a clockwise direction, and because of that there is no symmetry now. So for symmetric object, we have to either select the line separately, avoiding the use of polyline, or the distance should be equal in this case. As in this case, this distance was equal, so this resulted in a symmetric object. If the distances they are different than each other, then for symmetric objects to be formed, we have to click on the first line and second line every time in order to really get what we want. Now there is another option which is trim. And what does trim means? Because we clicked on the first line and then second line and we saw that a hypotenuse line has been generated, but the previous lines they are trimmed away, right? The corner is not there, it got trimmed. So if the user wants the corner to be still there, then he can change the settings. So for that we will write T, because the capital alphabet is T over here. So T enter, and now by default the trim has been selected. If we click on no trim, and that is N enter, and if we perform chamfering, so click over here and then click over here, we can see that the corner is still there because we have selected a no trim option. If you want the corner to be gone after the chamfering has been performed, so again press T and enter, and now because trim starts from capital T, so T again, and now if we click on the first line and then click on the second line, we can see that that corner is gone or trimmed. So this was trim command. There is one thing left, corner settings. So press escape. Let us draw some objects like this, two lines, then again another two lines, but of this shape. Now we can see that here we have a perfect corner with no extra material and no gaps. But here we can see that there is a corner, but there are some extra material. Or here there is no corner because the material is absent, or the lines they are absent. Now if you utilize chamfer command CHA enter, click on this lower portion of this vertical line and we want a corner over here, what we have to do is to press and hold the shift key, shift select to apply corner. So if we click on this line, but before that we have to press and hold the shift key, just like I am doing it right now. So we are pressing and holding the shift button and we click on this portion. So we can see that a corner has been formed, right? So press enter again to execute the same command, and this time click on this portion, this left side of this horizontal line. If you click over here and then press and hold the shift button and click on the upper portion of this line, of this vertical line. We can see that the clicked portion remained there and a corner setting has been applied and there are no extra material or lines. Ctrl Z to bring the lines back. Now, without using the trim command, we can apply the corner setting here as well. So CHA, enter, click on this portion, press and hold the shift button and click over here, and we can see that the extra lines are removed and we got a corner setting on the sides where we clicked. Press enter again to execute the chamfer command again. Click on this portion, and before clicking over here, press and hold the shift button and then click, and we got a perfect corner as well here. So this was all about the chamfer command. Now the next command is fillet command. So click on modify, click on fillet. What is fillet? Fillet is rounding of the corners. The sharp default mode is trim. We already discussed this in chamfer command. And the default radius is 0. So if we want to give a specific radius, let it be 3. So R enter. Let the radius be 1.5. So 1.5 enter. And now click on the vertical line, click on the horizontal line, and we can see that a corner has been rounded. Press enter again. If you want to use the fillet command multiple times, there is a multiple option. So press M, press enter. Click on horizontal, then vertical, vertical, then horizontal, horizontal, then vertical. We are still inside the command. If you want to get out of the command, press enter. Press enter to execute the fillet command again. Now press F enter. F is for fillet. And now if there is a polygon or polyline and the user wants to trim by one click, he can do that. For that, write P enter because there is P capital. So P enter, and if you click on this rectangle, we can see that all the corners, they are rounded. Why there is one extra line? Because this corner was chamfered 2 times. So this line is for the second chamfer option. So select this line and then press delete. So now all the corners, there were 5 corners before fillet command. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and all of them, they are filleted, or you can say rounded, with the help of fillet command. Again, press F and then enter. Now if you want to utilize fillet command by icons, this icon is for fillet command, and above this chamfer icon exists. So click on chamfer icon, and now we can see that chamfer icon has been executed. Similarly, click on fillet command. So fillet command has been executed. You have to check the radius, whether that radius is okay for you or not. If you want to change that, you have to utilize the radius command, and for that you have to write R enter and then enter the value of the radius and then press enter. Similarly, undo option, we know it will reverse one step back. Now if we draw the same object, and if you utilize fillet command F enter, select first object, let this be the first object. Again, we can use shift. That means if we press shift and hold it for a while until we click again, we can apply the corner settings as well using fillet command. So again, press and hold the shift button and click over here. We can see that corner setting has been applied. Press enter again, click, press and hold shift key and click here. We got the perfect corner. Press enter again, click on this portion and press and hold shift button and click over here, and we got a perfect corner there as well. So for applying the corner settings, we can use chamfer command and fillet command as well. Now because we know that this object is a polyline, because with one click the whole object gets selected, if you want to separate each component, like here we have an arc, a line, an arc, another line, inclined line actually, arc, vertical line, arc, horizontal line, arc, vertical line. If you want to break them apart into single entities, we have to utilize this explode icon or explode command. It lies in the modify menu. The last option is explode. Click on explode. Because the object has already been selected, we don't have to select any object this time. If you click on explode, now each component is a separate entity. This is the explode option. No, Control Z. We can now separate each component. We can move each component now. So for example, this arc, if you want to move them, we can do that. Before exploding, this object was a single entity. So sometimes if you want to edit a block, because block cannot be edited, it can be just moved or copied. So if you want to edit a block, we have to use explode option. Sometimes when we utilize the explode option on a block, it converts into a polyline. For single entities, we have to explode that again, right? So for example, if you write DC enter, inside this basic electronic file, we click on the blocks and we take out, for example, this resistor and then place this resistor over here on the screen. Similarly, if we bring out this inductor and place them outside again, click on close option, we can see that this one is a resistor and this one is a inductor. Now because the objects, the resistor and inductor, they are very small in size, so we would want to scale them up. So select them by the green box, write SC, enter. So scale option has been executed, right, to found. And now click on any endpoint, that is the base point, and now give it the value of, for example, 15, enter. So these objects, they are 15 times larger now. Now click on the explode icon. It asks you to select objects, so click on this resistor, press enter, and now this resistor has been exploded. If we click on this resistance, we can see that now the block has been converted into a polyline, right? And now because this inductor is a block, if we click on this inductor, we can just move them or copy them. So we cannot edit this inductor. If you want an inductor with 4 turns, or if you want to have a resistance of 5 peaks, here we have 3 peaks resistance, and we want to change them or modify them, we can only modify these blocks by first exploding them, right? So now if we click on this inductor and then click on this explode icon, this inductor has been exploded, and now we can see that this arc is a separate entity, this arc is a separate entity, this line is a separate entity, and the same goes for this arc and this line. But because we exploded this resistance, it has converted into a polyline, and in order to convert this resistance into single entities, we have to execute the explode command again. So click on explode, and now we can see that each one is a separate entity, right? So if you want a 5 peak resistance, we would want to move these two objects, press M, enter, grab them from here and then place them over here. And because one peak consists of 2 inclined lines, so select these 2 inclined lines, write CO, enter, copy, base point, let this be the base point, click on this endpoint and click on this endpoint, press enter to get out of the command, bring these 2 back, M, enter, let this be the endpoint, the base point, and click over here, place them over here. So now we have a 5 peak resistance. So we can now modify them. We can even color them, like for example select them. So for that we have to select them and then click on the property icon. So here we can give the color as for example yellow. Let us visualize them. So now the color has been changed to yellow color. If we click on red and then select them, click on red, now we can see that the color has been changed. In the block form, we cannot change the color of the block. For even coloring, the block must be exploded. So these were some of the important commands like trim, extend, break, join, chamfer, fillet, and the last one was explode option. So if you still have some questions in these commands or if I missed something, you can always let me know in the comment section. Thank you for watching.